Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Rivu, and today I'm gonna talk about something that haven't talked about in a long time. That is the final chapter of Attack on Titan, and I'm gonna do a whole review about it. But right now, I just want to talk about the ending. It's bad, dude. It's really bad. Like, what was the point of the series? Seriously, what was the what was the point? They are saying that he, he just tried to pull Lelouch. Isayama just tried to pull Lelouch route but failed miserably. He tried to do this half genocidal, half Lelouch ending but couldn't even do one thing. That is the one thing that I wanted from a story. That's that no matter what happens to Eren, no matter if he dies, if he lives, if he gets to live with Historia, if he gets to live with Mikasa, I just wanted his character to have a good conclusion. I just wanted to have his character not being retconned. And it did. Every single thing he did before is just meaningless. When you put your character in a predeterminism, like bounded by fate, you just makes your character a plot device. He's not even a character anymore. That's the one thing that happened with Eren. And it is one of the most disgusting treatment you could give to your main character. That's what happened here. And some of the fanboys were saying that, oh, peace could never be achieved. Peace was impossible. History will always repeat itself. That's just bullshit, man. If he would have finished the rumbling and erased the memory from the people of paradise, then the peace can easily be achieved. He didn't even achieve freedom. He didn't. He just died, and death. And some of the fanboys were saying that, oh, that's the point of the story. Death is the freedom. No, death is not freedom. It can never be freedom. Death is death. Freedom is freedom. Anybody who says death is freedom is just a nihilistic bullshit. And it just make his cap. If he brought back this whiny Aaron, he told in an interview that Aaron is back. The whiny Aaron is back. This just means that F you to all the character development. Seriously, he just told F you to every single character development Aaron had by giving her the excuse that everything he achieved, everything he did is just all fake facade, a fake activities. What's the point of showing his character growth? If you're gonna say that, haha, he's back now, he's always been there before, nothing has changed. It's just bullshit, man. It's just bullshit. If you're and some of the fans are also arguing that he just wanted to kill all the titans. And he achieved that for a brief period of time. That's bullshit. He wanted to kill the titans in the first season, in the first chapter, because he didn't know about the world any better. He thought that he used to view the world as a black and white, like human is a good guy, Titan is a bad guy. He used to think that Titan is the one who was trying to take away his freedom. That's why he had such a hatred against the Titans. Titan has killed his mom. Titan has Titan was the he thought that Titan was the reasons that he and his people was trapped inside the cage. He didn't knew any better. That when he found out about the basement, the whole point of the basement was Titans are not the monsters. Humans are the actual monsters. When he found out that the Titans that he hated so much were just the normal people, normal restorationist people who were subjugated, uh, turned into Titans by the Marlians, the the outside world. When he learned that the out Titans are not the one who's trying to take away his freedom. The outside world tried to take away his freedom. Sorry for my English though, I'm not a native English speaker. So what I was saying that even in the chapter 100 and chapter 89 or 88, I don't remember the number, where he remarked the Titan, that crawling Titan, as his fellow patriot, spared the Titan. That showed his character development. To simply reduce his character, Aaron's character to just he wanted to kill his Titan, you just basically saying he's always been a just one-dimensional, generic shonen protagonist. Just wanted to kill Titan, nothing else. That's bullshit. The only thing that was common between uh, chapter beyond chapter 90 Aaron and in chapter 1 was he always wanted to achieve freedom. That's the only thing that is common. His enemies were changed. He doesn't hold grudge against Titan anymore. He stopped holding grudge against Titans. When he learned about the basement reveal, when he learned about his father's past, to say that he just wanted to kill the Titan is just bullshit. And people are talking about character development. What character development you are talking about? He just reverted back to his old bitchy uh, childish self. He failed to protect Paradise's future. He failed to live with his friends. He failed to gain freedom. He failed to remove the Titan. He's the biggest clown in anime history. You might just say that he just wanted to make his friends live happy lives. How the fuck they are living happy lives when they had to deal with the rest of the 20%? The rest of the 20% didn't even got his nothing happened to those lands. The Titans, the rumbling didn't complete it. The wall Titans didn't touch those 20% lands, and those 20% means a lot. If we go by the 1940s or 1930s population, then the 20% would be more or less like 350 millions or something, 300, 350 millions. So if we calculate, the population of Paradise was 1 million before the start of the series. After that, Walmaria was reduced. There are so many deaths happened in the beginning of the series, so I believe the population of the Paradise Island would be more or less like 700k. So as 700k people who have 100 years of backward civilization technologies with no Titan protection is fighting against those 300 of 350 million people. That's just dumb. There is there is no point of the story. Like nothing is changed. It's the same thing that the story started, the same thing it ended. There is no narrative growth. There is no social commentary. Nothing is achieved. Like the, if Isayama wanted to say the war is never gonna stop, or the like humans will never understand, it's just bullshit. If that's the case, if war was never gonna stop, if humans were never gonna understand each other, then our extinction would have happened long time ago. Those who says that war never gonna stop doesn't understand the concept of winners and losers, victors. When you when you get a victory in war, you don't have enemies anymore. And war is never gonna stop. It's just a bullshit message. Eren could have easily stopped the war by completing the rumbling. Instead, he stopped at 80% and did end the conflict, results in destruction of paradise. He left his friend to deal with the conflict with 20% of the world. They didn't get to live happy lives at all. And these fanboys, AOT fanboys, think this is some big brain stuff. Like, there are thousands upon thousands of events in world history, like French Revolution, Indian independence, Irish independence, World War II, where peace is achieved by the victors. So don't give me that realistic nonsense. What was the point of introducing those big heavy themes like freedom, cycle of hatred, if you're not gonna do anything with those themes? It's so easy to write things are always gonna be the same. This is just a cheap cop out, a lazy messaging. You didn't bring anything new to the table rather than what's already been there or what's already been the basis. It's like you throw a bunch of problems about to the readers that this is the things that's wrong with this world, and it's always gonna be wrong. I as an author don't have any opinions on it. My opinion is everything stays the same. Such a lazy messaging. Like, there is no narrative growth. Everything stays the same. It is just a cheap cop out. There is no the series started in war and ended in war without any solution, making the entire journey a giant waste of time. If nothing is achieved, if there is no payoff, then what's the point of watching the series? What's the point of if there is no payoff? And if you wanted to show that humans are all gonna fight, then show that Eren finished the rumbling and then the Paradise are still fighting against one another. And what's the point? Really, what's the point? Eren, why would Eren give a damn about the Paradise's uh, civil war? His main objective was to protect his friends, to free the Paradise Island, and he failed. He told that he won't gamble on the Paradise future or luck, but he did it anyway, not destroying the 20% of the rest of the world, which is a complete assassination of his character. And the people who said that Paradise is not destroyed is just BS or an assumption that people pulled out of thin air. The magazine's main narrator, the leakers, already said that Paradise is completely destroyed. How can anyone assume that his friends get to live happy lives when they had to fight the conflict for the with the rest of the world for the rest of their lives? This is nothing. There is nothing realistic about this crap. This is the lamest depiction of war and human psychology. It's ironic that Attack on Titan fans bash other series, other shonen series for generic shonen tropes when their last arc, the whole rumbling arc, is filled with shitty plot armor of the Alliance in the final battle. Armin being the shitty version of Talk Naruto's Talk no Jutsu, uh, Talk no Jutsuing everyone out of his ass. Dead coming back to life to save the hero's cliches, power up love from Ymir, power up love friendship from cringy alliance. Attack on Titan is just as bad as any other generic shonen, if not worse. If anyone thinks that Attack on Titan is realistic, they haven't read a good book or a good series or watched a good series in their entire life. What about the themes like future generation should not suffer from the ancestor mistakes, which is completely contradicted by the ending where the future generation of Paradise Island is still suffering, still fighting with the rest of the world. The ending completely destroys all the themes of freedom, ending the cycle of hatred, conflict, uh, ending the conflict, breaking the cycles by shoehorning the bullshit, everything stays the same without any solution, no change, no growth in narrative, making the entire series a pointless waste of time. The whole rumbling arc is objectively garbage, dude. From an unbiased writing perspective, whether anyone likes it or not, it's completely garbage. So, my final ratings for the series. Up to chapter 123, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I won't give it a 10 out of 10 because the series was never perfect. There are so many plot holes even before the ending, even before everything, even before the beach scene. There are plot holes like how did the acromans are so strong? We just get a vague uh, description, a lazy description. We didn't get to see how did that work. How does that work? What type of experiment they did? How are they are so strong if they have the powers of the Titans? They are clearly stronger than normal Titans, so much stronger. How does that work? How did the King Fritz, the Karl Fritz, no, yes, Karl Fritz made the deal with the with Ymir to lock down every next founding Titan holders. How does that deal work? What he did during his time, like we didn't get any description about that warm thing, about that hallucinogenia. Nothing. We get no description. Just like you may just fall into the tree and got the titan powers. It's just lazy. So much lazy writing, even before the ending. So I'm not gonna give it 10. Up to chapter 123, I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10. It was a masterpiece series, still was. Even even if I ignore those faults, up to chapter 136, I would give it this series 8 out of 10. It was a complete downfall after 123. If anyone noticed, most of them didn't notice actually because they were all speedrunners. But for someone who is reading the manga for almost like 5 or 6 years, I have clearly noticed all the downfall in quality after chapter 123. Sure, the chapter 130 and 131 was awesome, one of the best chapters, but still the downfall was clearly noticeable after chapter 123. It started with the introduction of Alliance, or like saving the world crap in chapter 126. Chapter 126 was regarded was one of the worst chapters. So I would give this series up to 136 8 out of 10. After the release of chapter 137, 138 and 139, I would give this series a 7 out of 10. So my overall rating for the series is 7 out of 10. I won't recommend this series to anyone because I don't want them to suffer this garbage ending. Indeed, it was so bad. It's actually worse than Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones needed 2 seasons to destroy every single storyline. Attack on Titan just did it in 3 fucking chapters. It's so bad. It's so rushed. It's so bad. There's so many devoid of logic. The amount of plot holes created in this last chapter was 10 times more than it was created in last 136 chapters. Like, man, there is so many things you can nitpick. Like, how did Mikasa go to go to reach Eren? That was never explained. And yes, that was never explained. But there is no panel in the manga explaining that. So people are just taking bullshit out of thin air, assumptions that Eren sent the signal or Ymir sent the signal. There is no explanation about that. How did Zeke get out of the path? There is no explanation. No nothing. How did the dead ones come back to like this is so there is so many things you can nitpick from the series. But there is no point because what they did to the main character, main storyline is more than enough to make me not enjoy it. Rather than the actual world logic and the world uh, building that the series had built up to at this point. It's just bad. It's bad. So that's the that's my review for the last three chapters. I'm not gonna say that much. It is what it is. I guess I'm not gonna be reading any of the future work of Isayama. He really just put himself in the corner in the last arc. I don't know what happened to him in the last arc. It doesn't feel like Isayama's writing. After chapter 123, the series had gone complete downhill. Anybody who says otherwise is just coping at this point. Like, there's so many YouTubers like Marks Man or Anime Uproar who just bunch of pussies. They don't have the guts to criticize their favorite series. Like, how dare you call yourself a reviewing channel if you can't even criticize the so many major flaws of a series? Like, they are so afraid to piss off their own fan base so that they are ignoring those flaws. And the most like terrible of them all was Jake the Retake. He's so bad. Like, he's telling everyone to just anyone who hated the ending or just casual, where he himself was a speedrunner, where he himself was just a casual anime only fans who just found out about the Attack on Titan 1 year ago. How much hypocrite can you be? Seriously, the only one who loved this ending was just cringy ass shippers. That's it. You just mad that your ship didn't come true. You just don't understand the story. It's just bad excuse. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. I'm gonna be covering the Isayama's interviews in the next